Good afternoon. It's Roger Gilbert here from International Aquafeed and Fish Farming Technology magazines. I'm at the Expo of America Aquaculture 2020 here in Hawaii, and I'm on the stand of InnovaPrep and the exhibition area, and it's the second day of the show, and I'm in the company of Anne Packingham, who's the marketing manager for InnovaPrep, and they have a very cunning device here called a concentrate pipette selection device, which is on the corner of the table. And Anne is going to tell us a little bit of a history of her company first, and then the reasons that this piece of equipment is here on the show. Welcome, Anne.
Hi.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about your company first off, and then a little bit about what you're doing here?
Sure. Our company started in 2009. We were working in biodefense applications, and we kept running into the same problem that all of the bio targets that we were looking for in air and in liquids was so dilute that it was very difficult to detect with the new modern rapid detection methods, because the new modern rapid detection methods only require a very small volume. And so the mismatch between what's in the environment and what you can put in the detection device was causing a real difficulty. So we invented a way to rapidly concentrate pathogens in air and in liquids. And so we had gone through several small business innovative research grants for funding to do product development and research. And so we had grants from NASA, from NOAA, from the FDA and others to develop our products. And so this is a concentrating pipette. It's a rapid microparticle concentrator, and it's currently the technology is being adapted for use on the International Space Station.
Okay.
Yeah. So the premise is that many of our customers who are in public health are looking for disease pathogens in water, and they're very dilute, and being able to detect them is of great importance, but it's very difficult. And so this instrument will rapidly concentrate any pathogens in the water, whether they're bacterial or viral or even fungal, and deliver a final sample into a tiny volume that really matches the input of the modern detection methods.
Can we do the as test sample there first before we talk about the effectiveness or the application in fish farming?
Sure. So, the basic premise is we use rapid filtration, and we use these single-use pipette tips that come in different configurations depending on your application, but basically we have bacterial filter tips, and we have filter tips for viruses as well. I'm going to do a demonstration with the bacteria pipette tip. It's a 0.1 filter, and you just plug it in the machine, and I have a water sample here. Typically, you can do up to 3 liters of water, depending on how turbid it is. I'm just doing a small sample here so that you can, it won't take so long. But you just press start, and the instrument performs basic filtration. It's pulling the sample up and through the back side of the filter, and all the particles load up on the filter here while all the fluid goes to waste.
Oh, okay.
And so our technology is all about how do you recover what you've trapped on the filter simply and into the smallest volume possible so that you get the most concentrated sample that you possibly can.
So when the sample is bigger than what we see here, will it suck up all the liquid?
It will suck up all the liquid until the particles in the sample have either clog it or not. So it depends, certainly. Typically, we have the ability to concentrate pretty turbid waters. The best case is 3 liters with this instrument and these current pipette tips. So all the water is passed. all the particles are loaded up on the face of the filter, and you can see it's kind of yellow. So I don't have live bacteria today, but I used some microspheres that are the same size as bacteria, and they're fluorescent, so you can see what we concentrate.
Okay.
So all you do is press the button, and so this is our patented process. It's going to shoot out some fluid, and that fluid is carbonated. And it's the carbonation in the fluid that makes it so effective at recovery. But you can see we've got all of the microorganisms in a nice, clean, final sample of about 200 microliters. And so you can take that straight to whatever analysis method that you want to know, so you can identify what is in your water.
Yeah. I mean, that is fascinating. But what is the application in aquaculture?
Well, in aquaculture, we believe, and really we're new to the industry, but in the other industries that we're in, finding disease pathogens in water is a preventative action to the health of what's living there. And so we felt like aquaculture would be a perfect application, because if you monitor your water on a regular basis, you'll know the levels. There's always a baseline level of pathogens in the water, but if you do a consistent monitoring, you'd be able to see the trends. You'd know that if you input new fish stock or any of your other inputs, if you saw a rise in something or another, what was causing it, so you could mitigate the problem. And perhaps you'd be able to, since it's so highly concentrated, you can detect the pathogen in the water before your fish are ill, so you can really see how it...
So that would be a very smart thing to do.
Right.
How have you found the response from people coming past the stand?
Right, so I created a survey and just asked questions of, have they heard of this, using this method, and it's mixed. A lot of people have. Most of the researchers here are familiar with the idea, but the problem has always been that the pathogens were too dilute. And so this solves that problem, and so they've really been excited about it. And we've had several people that are planning to write it into their grants and to, try to get evaluation model into their lab so they can try it. But the response has been really good. Yeah.
Well, that's fascinating. And I just wonder if, when you say regular usage in farming situations, would that be every day?
It could be every day. I would think that probably weekly would probably be enough. However, I really am not. I'm not in the industry enough to know for sure, but I think the more you sample, the more you absolutely know what's going on in your production waters and with your fish stock.
Well, thank you very much for taking us through the sample process and for explaining the product. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne.